All right, thank you and welcome. Welcome to our Digital Champions Network online workshop. Before we fully begin, I'd just like to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land that I'm presenting from, as the Bindal and Walgarukupa people, and as well those of the respective lands of everyone in today's call. I acknowledge their continuing connections to land, sea and community, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. For anyone participating for the first time, welcome to the Digital Champions Network online workshops, where we hope to deliver helpful tutorials, educational sessions, virtual services that are accessible via telehealth carts, and provide a platform for peer discussion on all aspects of digital health as it applies to aged care. As this is a community, we encourage cameras on, mics on, and ask if all participants just pop in their name, role, and aged care home into the chat box so everyone gets to know each other. And this morning, we welcome Jude Cobb from the Healthdirect Video Call support team. And our Healthdirect is the Commonwealth-funded and hence free alternative to the Vision platform that NQPHN has funded. And after the expiry date on that Vision funding, that is the 30th of April 2026, everyone's going to need to choose whether the license will be funded ongoing by their own home or if they will transition towards other platforms. So to make sure that everyone has the fullness of choice, we're making sure everyone's acquainted with options. So Jude's going to show a little bit of the platform and how it interacts with the Visionflex telehealth equipment. So thank you to Jude. I hope you to take it away.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Kieran. I'm just looking over at my other screen to get this to move on. There we go. Yes, so I'm Jude from Healthdirect Video Call, Customer Engagement Officer. So I'm just going to show you the Healthdirect Video Call platform. Going to talk a little bit about it to start with, particularly as it relates to usage in aged care homes. And then I've got a little bit of a video that I'll show and we can have any kind of discussion after that. So I'm just going to go through a really quick overview at the beginning and then some RACH use cases and workflows, and talk about having a video call account, which you can have for free. So you can have your own account, which essentially gives you a clinic that you can invite people into, any health service providers, family members, interpreters, anybody like that who needs to get into a call with one of your residents. So I'll talk about that. And then using Visionflex carts, or any cart or any device really, but we're going to focus on Visionflex carts today. And I'll show that via a video that I created with one of the people from Visionflex. So that was good. And I'll talk about video call support as well. So Healthdirect Video Call, as Kieran said, we are 100% government funded. The Commonwealth Department of Health is what the funding comes under for aged care. So you're eligible to use our service for free. We have the various state governments as well who also use video call or fund video call for their organisations and clinics that come under their jurisdiction. So it is a nationwide, across Australia, service for video telehealth. We started in 2014 specifically for telehealth consultations. So because of that, when you have a clinic, it has a waiting area. So a waiting area is what you would normally have in a physical clinic, and you go in and then your health service provider calls out their next patient and you go into their room in a physical clinic. This is online, and RACH is a little bit of an exception because you're able to have your own clinic. So it means you've just got a virtual space really where you can invite people in there using the clinic link, and it'll show that in the video. You can invite people in there using your clinic link, and then they put in their details and arrive, and one of your staff can join them in a video call with the resident with them, and that resident can then have that consultation or call. So with video call, you don't actually need any special equipment. You can use any device that can connect to the internet as long as it's fairly up to date. It doesn't need to be 100% up to date with the latest operating system or version of the browser, but it's good to keep things up to date like that because they do security updates as well. So it's all browser based. So you can use Internet Explorer. Don't even say that, Jude. Just cut that out of the recording. Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome. Or if you're on a Mac, you could use Safari. But because we're going to be talking about carts today, that would be the Microsoft Edge browser. So that's the internet browser. It's essentially a website, Healthdirect Video Call. It's not an app. You don't need to download anything. You just need a shortcut, possibly on your cart, so all staff can access it easily. But you'll find out more about that as I go on. So no software downloads or anything like that, so you can do it on any device. The people you send your link to, so in your case, it would be probably health service providers, interpreters, family members, anyone who needs to get into a call with your resident. You send them the link. They don't need an account. They just simply click on that link where they start a call that will get them to come into your waiting area. So that's all they need is that link, and that just needs to be sent to them somehow. Often you can copy it. You'll see that in the video as well. You can copy the link. Each clinic has its own link that you can see very clearly that you can copy and send, or you can send directly from the platform. You can email or SMS, and then they can use that link when the appointment time is. It's really privacy and security is built in throughout the platform, so it is provided on behalf of the various governments across Australia. So it's health grade security. It's all fully encrypted, so all the connections are encrypted. And we don't store anything, like it says here, no patient or personal health information. In your case, you'd be sending the link out to health service providers. We wouldn't keep any of their details because they're essentially coming into your clinic as a guest. But it is, as it says here, simple, secure and flexible. So RACH use cases, just, I don't know how much you've been doing telehealth at the moment, but you can use Healthdirect Video Call for calls with a GP, a specialist, allied health visits, anyone that you need to get into a consultation with that is suitable for telehealth. And a lot of the consultations are suitable for a telehealth call, at least in the first instance. So care coordination, you could have multiple practitioners in one call. You could send the link to a GP, for example, and also a specialist or a allied health professional. So you can reduce the number of appointments in that way. They could all come together and have a consultation with the resident if that is appropriate. So you can have access for family members, interpreters, social workers. Really, you're in charge. If you do get a video call account, you can send it to whoever is needed. And we do have group sessions as well, so group calling with up to 20 participants that you could have in there. It's used for existing health service provider networks. So what that means is that we don't provide the doctors. Healthdirect Video Call is the service that provides the access so that you use that so that your resident can see someone, but you need to already have those existing health service provider networks. So it might be the GP that comes into the RACH, or maybe various GPs, or, as I said, a specialist that one of your residents has an appointment with. You send the link to them. We do have our after hours GP helpline, which is virtual GP access for nurse triage. So what you can do also is use that line, and you can get through, or your staff could get through to the nurse triage line, and they may say this is suitable for a video call, and then that could take place there as well. So that's just a little bit of background. So with video call, you can have an account or you can receive a link as the patient. So that's how it works. If we create a clinic for an RACH, that clinic is requested, we create the clinic, and someone just needs to be set up as the clinic administrator. So that's usually the person that's in charge of the administration side of their RACH, or whoever is the nominated person. They get an email to create their account, and then they can add any other staff members. And you can do that however you like. You can get everyone added via their email address. Video Call adds you via your email address. That's how it recognises you. You can do that, or you can have, if there's a generic account such as nurse at whatever it is, you can do that as well. So we would talk people through that and answer all those questions, and I'm sure Kieran would as well, if there are any questions about that. And then those clinic members, so you're added to a clinic, your in charge of that clinic. So you can sign in, you can see anybody that's been sent the link that's coming in to wait for a consultation with your resident, and you can join them, you can add other people in, and then that consultation can take place. So that's if you've got your account. And once again, it's free to do that. You just need to request it and we'll create it. You can also receive a link from a health service. So say a GP has their own Healthdirect Video Call account, they can send you the link. In that case, you're the one clicking on the link, or your staff is, and with the resident with them, puts in the resident details as being a patient, and then goes into their clinic waiting area, the health service, and then you'll be joined when ready. So if you're doing it that way, you don't need an account, you're simply using the link. And if you're doing it on Visionflex cart, then what you need to do is just ask if that can be emailed to you, or if it's SMS, you can forward that to email, just somewhere that you can access it on the cart. As it says here, you click on the link, fill in the patient details and wait to be seen. So you can do either or a combination of both, but you do certainly have a lot more flexibility in who you send it to if you have your own clinic, because you can send that to anyone for, residents to see their family members, for example. We've already done that one. Somebody doubled up. So this is just a graphic representation of that. So say you've got the resident there with the health support, whether that's a nurse or other worker in the aged care home, and they've got an appointment with, say, a GP over here. They send them the link. When the GP is ready, they click on that link, put in their details, and then the person assisting the resident, so the staff member, can join that call as soon as that person pops into the clinic. They can also send the link to the family member, interpreter, any other health professional. They'll all come into the waiting area. You can see them and they'll have their name there, and you can then go back to the waiting area and add them into your current call. So you can have up to 6 people in a standard video call, which is usually plenty, or you can have up to 20 in one of those group calls. Okay. So I'll just talk a little bit about using Healthdirect Video Call with the Visionflex cart. We've worked with Visionflex, as I said, I've created 3 videos that are on our resource centre. I'll show you our resource centre a bit later, which is our knowledge hub, everything to do with video call. And we do have an aged care portal there that's got all the information you'll need. So it's really simple to sign into the cart's browser, which is going to be Microsoft Edge, to access your account if you do have a clinic set up. As I said before, you can also do it the other way, where if you receive a link, you can open that up on the cart's browser. If you have medical devices compatible with the cart, for example, the GEIS camera, the general examination camera, or an otoscope, or a stethoscope, there's the vision glasses as well. They're all great accessories that can go here. And so that means that you can have a really in-depth consultation, and the doctor at the other end can get some of those vitals or information, or, a picture of the person's skin to check out a wound, for example. They can easily be shared directly into the call, so directly into Healthdirect Video Call as another camera. And I've already said that last bit. This is a picture of one of the carts. Yours would look something like this. There's a few little variations, but that's one of the Visionflex carts there. So what I'm going to do is just show a video which we did with Abe from Visionflex. He's pretending to be, he's simulating being someone in, not necessarily an aged care home, but it could be anywhere that has a Visionflex cart, but certainly aged care. And one of our staff there is pretending to be the resident or the patient, and I'm the doctor. So you can see here we've got a call. You'll see this in the video. We've got a call with a couple of people in it, but also we've got another camera put in and into the call, and I can be seeing that on the screen as the external doctor. So this is the video which shows if you have an account with Video Call. So you'd sign in, access your account and join calls. There are 3 videos that I've created, and in the aged care portal I'll show you afterwards. It's also got the option for when you receive a link to show you how to do that. So we did both sides. All right, what I'll do is I'll mute myself and I'll just turn off my camera so this plays nicely inside Teams. And have a look at this video. If you've got any questions, please feel free at the end of the video. So I'll play that now. Using Healthdirect Video Call for patient health consultations with your Visionflex cart is simple. This video explains how to send the clinic link and assist a patient to get into a video consultation using the cart, which includes a computer and any available peripherals, such as a medical camera, scope, or digital stethoscope. When the appointment is made, send the link by signing into Video Call and looking under Share the link to your waiting area. Next, either copy and send the link, for example via email, or choose SMS or email to send directly from the Video Call platform. Add the required email address and/or phone number and then click Send. Prior to the scheduled appointment, the staff member assisting the patient signs into Video Call using the web browser on the cart and views the clinic waiting area. You can set up a desktop shortcut on the Video Call sign-in page for ease of access, or add it as a favourite in the browser. The doctor and any other invited participants click on the link they were sent when the appointment was made, fill in their details and arrive in your clinic waiting area. You can set an SMS alert for your mobile number to alert you when someone arrives, if you are not close to the cart. When the invited participant arrives, the staff member assisting the patient joins the call and the consultation begins. If multiple people have been invited for the consultation, navigate back to the waiting area and add any other required participants to the call. You can switch between your available cameras if required, and the doctor may also request a camera so they can view a scope or other medical camera during the consultation. Once requested, you will see a drop-down list of the available cameras connected to the cart and can choose the required camera to share it as an additional camera into the video call. You can also share an additional camera into the call by opening Apps and Tools, clicking on Share Document Camera and selecting the required camera. Other connected devices they may ask you to share into the call include a camera with wound measurement attachment, otoscope, video examination glasses, and digital stethoscope. If requested to share a digital stethoscope into a call, make sure it is connected and open the settings drawer to the left of the call screen. Under Select Microphone, select the stethoscope, and then under Select Audio Quality, select Medical Audio. This will send high-quality audio from the stethoscope to the doctor. Remember to change back to your usual microphone and default audio settings once the examination is complete. You can share other resources into a call, if required, by clicking on Apps and Tools and selecting the desired option. In this example, we click on Image or PDF, navigate to the required file, and open it to share it into the call. The resource can be annotated over if required, and the doctor can download it and add it to the patient's file. You can easily share the ProEX software on the cart into the call if required by opening the software, going to Apps and Tools, and selecting Start a Screen Share. Select Window and then ProEX. All participants will see the ProEX screen shared into the call. If the doctor shares a resource with you, such as an image or referral, you can download it and store it in an appropriate location on the computer. Once the consultation ends, the staff member ends the call and follows any recommendations regarding next steps, medication, or follow-up appointments. Oh, okay, I should be back, hopefully. Yeah, so that's the video. I'm not sure, Peter, do you have any questions or comments?
Not at this stage. That was good, thanks. That's good. Yep.
Okay.
No problems.
Jude, I'd like to share an observation actually, and I think it just might be something for Peter to bear in mind. It's actually really good just thinking about the use case, just sharing that geese examination camera, as I guess that must have been as a document camera there, but as that additional video feed is actually quite good because it leaves the main camera pointed at the resident in view. The doc can see that, but more importantly, if you've got a family member who's part of the call just watching the proceedings, they get to see how they get to continue to see how the nursing staff are handling their loved ones through the course of the examination. It lends a lot more confidence in the healthcare, I think, amongst the family members and in their peace of mind, that even while one camera is pointed at wounds and everything, they see how maybe gently they're being handled and everything too. So having those multiple sorts of feeds and that loved one as a whole picture in view at all times, I think is quite a good thing for the family members who may be participating.
Yeah, yeah, thanks, Kieran. That's true. And, you know, while you can switch your camera and go to the other one, that means, yeah, that camera then that you had on the resident is then not on them anymore. It's switched over. So it's really easy to add it. It does say document camera. I'd like to get that name changed because it used to be document camera and now it's any camera and it's got really high definition. So that's all been improved. So it's really great to share any camera now. So we'll get that changed at some point. But that's how you share an additional camera in. Thanks for that, Kieran. So basically I had this open in case there were questions. This is just one of just an Acme Health demo, so just a pretend RACH clinic. This is what it looks like without anybody in there, and then you'd get that link, send it to whoever is required, so the doctor or other person, as I've mentioned previously. They'd come in and then they can be joined. So as I said, we've got our resource centre. So help.vcc.healthdirect.org.au is the resource centre. And I might just put that link in for you, Peter, as well, while you're here.
I'm scurrying down lots of notes, so.
Look, everything's in here. Yeah, the notes are good. I have tried to be very comprehensive in the resource centre, but you can always give your feedback as well. I do appreciate that. So this is the resource centre. You can search for anything here. You know, if I search up Visionflex, for example, using Visionflex carts and medical devices, that's exactly the article that we want to get to. So then you can see here, it's got the information. There's 3 videos, as I said previously. So there's video call accounts. That's the one I just showed you. So you can always watch that again. That's the link to that video. And then how to use a Visionflex cart to attend a virtual emergency, if that's appropriate, or with any other health service. So it just shows how to receive the link and get into the call. Once you're in the call, it's pretty much all the same, except if you are the account holder, so if you do have an account for your clinic, then you're the host in the call. You've got a few extra bits of functionality with the call manager and things like that. So that's really handy. And then it goes through some of those, you know, skin examination, like just examples and how to do it, how to request a camera from the other side, or how to share a document camera. So, but the videos kind of have everything in there. If I go back to the home of the resource centre, you'll see here one of the tiles is specialty portals, and we've got one that's called aged care. So if you go in there, that's got a whole range of things in here that you can go into: introducing, getting started. So that's like requesting the clinic and lots of background information. You know, need a virtual clinic? Okay, this is what you do. And we've got our contact. We've got contact your local PHN or contact us. Kieran, you can let people know what you would prefer. On
the contacting us and everything, I have set up virtual clinics for every one of the homes that has a cart. So that's fine. And continuing to reach out. I believe one of the Healthdirect pages about setting up a portal actually has a digital health at NQPHN kind of thing to reach out to. That takes you onto one of my counterparts in another team, or you can reach out to me or the older person's health directly to get a clinic established.
Yep, cool, thank you. And you can see in here there's a range of things, getting started, using it, but there's that Visionflex article, so you can get there that way as well. You can also, if you type in here and you do need any help, support, assistance, help, anything sort of along those lines, you'll get to our 1800 line. So this is our video call service desk and our email address. And we are 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. local time, Monday to Friday. So you can get us for support there as well. And also what I will say is we are happy to do training for the particular teams. So for the aged care homes, so whatever you need just to get you started. So you can always contact us for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jude. That's really good. I might just to let that sort of tackle and evolve ad hoc. You might bring something back up if you find it's easier to demonstrate something to answer a question. Might just throw out to the crowd first and just see if maybe there's any questions sort of on anyone's mind. First up.
With the Visionflex, what's the expiry date of the subscription? Did you?
Yeah, subscriptions on the Vision platform will be 30th of April 2026. You have a license prepaid by NQPHN that will last until that long. I may pass to Daniel in due course just to give more about what that entails to allow to provide a counterpoint to all the Healthdirect conversation that's going on. But yeah, that'll be the date at which D-Day for decisions, whether it's taken on further or if it's sort of looking at other platforms like Healthdirect. But that's the date we're looking at.
Right, thank you.
I'll jump in quickly. From my perspective, yeah, we've seen Healthdirect, and it's a fantastic device. So we're all about virtual care for everybody. So whichever platform you're using, we're here to help as well. So yeah, great presentation, Jude. So yeah, we're in a very similar boat. So yeah, it's as simple as that. And obviously, you know, Healthdirect's free. Visionflex does cost. There's, you know, different reasons why we have to charge for the license, but we do have wrapped into that the complete warranty replacement for all the hardware as well. So you get constant support. Anything happens to anything, we'll quickly change it out for you. And any training you want, Peter, as well, specifically on the Visionflex side of things, I'm more than happy to help there whenever you need it. We like to get about 5 people in a group if possible, sort of max. Any more than that, people start losing sort of attention. We try to get people hands-on with the carts and the devices as well. So reach out, support at visionflex.com. I'm happy to organise a training for you, Peter, whenever you need it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
That sounds good. Daniel, I'll give you just a pause there. I will actually, I've got something just in mind to line up to actually just throw to you on a dedicated piece, maybe on your platform. Peter, anything further that you can think of just right now, just that you wanted to ask of Jude, just about Healthdirect or anything?
No, not at this stage. I just need more time to actually experiment with it because I'm just flat out on the floor. And yeah,
Jude, I might ask you. Oh, sorry, Peter.
That's all right. That's okay.
Jude, I might ask you. Just one of the things that we face, of course, aged care, it's rampant across the sector, is turnover. I'm more than happy to establish a virtual clinic. Most homes would have a virtual clinic, but some people watching this may be like, oh, Healthdirect sounds cool, but they probably might have lost their admin user. I'm always happy to be approached about that, but can you guys sign people up as admins, issue profiles or anything like that, just for reaching out to support?
Yes, absolutely. We can do all of that. So, and that does happen. Like we get people saying, oh, I've heard about this Healthdirect and can we please get a clinic? And I look in and they've got one. But I say, oh, so-and-so's the clinic had set up as the clinic administrator. Oh, they've left. And so I haven't handed over or let people know because you're doing so many things and I totally get it. So we can then say, okay, this is how it works and who would be the best person for us to set up as the admin, and then they can invite all the others. So we can do any of that stuff, obviously the administration side, and assist. And we also do the admin training. So I can show people the stuff that you've just seen there, but also how to set up the clinic so that it suits your needs, and we can do that for you also. So it's really super flexible.
No, I'd like to make it clear, if you've got a cart, you've got a clinic, and Healthdirect will be favorited in your browser unless your organisation may have completely overwritten on your laptop, in which case it may have gotten out of my control. Jude, I might give you just what I didn't see, and it's just great for the aged care, and it's just a recent kind of addition, is just the improvements in the closed captions that are in the Healthdirect platform. I know it's not enabled by default, and just for clinic administrators, I wonder if maybe you could just sort of walk through the steps to enable closed captioning, or maybe it might just be the download that's not available by default, but just what's going on there?
Okay. Yep. So in this one here, so this is my clinic. I haven't got anyone in this clinic at the moment, but if I'm the clinic administrator, so that's usually the person leading the telehealth and sort of letting others know about it in the aged care home and setting up the other staff. You'll see here, this one has access as an administrator, so I can do reports on how many people are using it in my clinic, how many video calls have taken place, but also who's doing them, which sign in, which account. So that's all there. There's various apps, and that is one of the ones that you've just talked about, and configure. So you can see here, there's a range of things. It's super flexible. But often, as the clinic admin, there's just some basic things you need to set up. You don't need to know all of this stuff. One of the things is apps. So when you look here, these are things that are added. Some of them you can request, but these mostly in here are the default applications, but they're not necessarily switched on. If they've got a little cog next to them, there are things that you can configure as the clinic administrator, on you also as the organisation administrator, Kieran. Anyone that's got administration rights in this clinic can do it. So if I look here and it says live captions, so that's what they are. I click on details and I've got a configure tab. So I've written a little thing here which is details how it works, and that has been enabled in this app. So it kind of says, this is what it is, this is what it looks like, what it features. So you get a little bit of information there, but then you can go across to configure. So you would need to enable the app. If it looks like that, it isn't going to be available in the call screen in your clinic, and it's clinic based. So it's each clinic. So enable the app. If you want your staff, and only a host in the call can do this, so that this would be your staff, not the people on the other end that you've invited in, you can allow the download. So hosts in the call, so your staff can download a transcript. So then that can be put in the patient records and you can remember what they've said. You just let the doctor know that that's what's happening, but that is possible. Download a transcript with the speaker's names. You can do that as well. So these are things you can turn on. You can color code with the participant colors. So they have a different color for each person as it comes through, so you can kind of see who's talking. These are just checkboxes. And then what it looks like. So the standard is that it has a black background with white text on it, but you can change that as well. So what's the background color? What's the text color? You know, often people don't change these at all, but you can. Font size. So if you needed it to be bigger, if you've got someone who, you know, is a bit challenged with their eyesight, I'm wearing glasses, I would appreciate it being a bit bigger than small. You could change that as well. So there's a range of things. But really, this one is just, most people just kind of go, yep, I'll enable the app. Then it works in the call. So while people are speaking, it transcribes that to text and then maybe allow the download. If you do change anything, you kind of just do that here. And then in our resource centre, if you look up, if I start typing in live, there's going to be add live captions to your video call. So this is the page which shows what it is, and there I am in some screenshots with BJ going through. So BJ is one of our developers who built this, and it gives a little bit of a brief overview. These are the bottom right tools in the call screen. CC, closed captions, that stands for. They can start it. And then you get to say who you want. You know, you can select participants if you only want certain participants to be transferred over. You can see here, this is pretty small, but the color coding is turned on, and it's basically showing who's speaking and what they're saying. And then you can download it. You can get a PDF with the timestamp for your records. And then it's got the configuration options here as well. So it's just what you just saw then. And just to click save if you make any changes. So don't uninstall things because you can't get them back. So if you uninstall an app saying, oh, I don't need to use it at the moment, I'll just uninstall it, we then have to go through a bit of a process to get it back for your clinic. So really, you just disable it. You don't have to have it turned on. That'll stop anybody being able to use it in your clinic if that's what you want. But if you uninstall, then you need to get in touch with us. It says it here. So, but there's not usually a reason to do that because you can turn all the ones off that you can uninstall anyway, or just disable them. So hopefully does that cover that question, Kieran?
I think it really does. I wanted to touch on it and maybe just walk through the how to do that. I've written some articles. I find that's a really important visual aid for the aged care homes and the vision impaired. And it also, that download of the transcript adds a little bit of memory prompt when you are writing your notes. Oftentimes you may be doing that at a later time during the day. Gives you a little bit of a jog to your memory. And as well, if the registered nurse who was actually facilitating the call might have been busy taking a blood pressure or doing this or that when the doc said something key, being able to go back to that is absolutely just, a huge benefit.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you for calling that out.
All right. Thank you very much for that. Do we have any other questions just from the group here while we're sort of in? Any other topics you might want to see if Healthdirect can help you with X or Y?
Not really a question. I was just wondering how much the admin need to be used on the side with these programs. Like, are the providers like picking it up really quickly?
How much?
The usage of using telehealth. I'm only asking as I've worked in a hospital before, and our doctors had a hard time with it, and the admin would often be the ones running the program for them and kind of directing them in the background. I was just wondering how you guys go up here with your providers taking onto the technology and, how smoothly it all runs and all that kind of thing.
So is that a question for me or for Kieran when you say up here?
Oh, look, what I might even point towards is, I know it's really great, Jude, that this is run in a way where you can it replicates GP's waiting room as such, and you can have all the workflows associated with it. You can have somebody who's not involved in the calls directing people into video calls as they begin. So that can be quite a helpful facilitator for very large homes to sort of, have somebody, heck, even at the front admin desk also logged into the virtual clinic, flicking people to and from calls, getting the basically things started. Just the RN needs to sort of navigate to the page, but a lot can be taken care of if there is a lot of processes going on at once. So our digital champions, should one be non-clinical, can have a little bit of a role in doing that too. And I don't know, Jude may add to the virtual clinic management on that, but I feel like that might be the gist of the use case.
Yeah, look, and so you can have as many team members as you like. And some of them may be obviously non-clinical or not getting into the calls, but they might just be monitoring here, come in and go, okay, that GP's there. I'll just make sure that Jude, who's assisting, is ready and signed in, because in this case it's a little bit of a different use case because the patients are actually with you rather than at the other end with a doctor. The doctor's the actual other person. So that's really the only case in Healthdirect Video Call where it's not the patient on the other end. So what you kind of want to do is just have as many people added as possible that just could assist with this, and also with, shift working and things like that. So you can have as many team members as you like. They come in. You don't want too many admins because they can change all the settings. So you want one or two so that they can change the settings. And then they come in here and they go, okay, you don't usually change any of this stuff. We set all this up. This is what it was called. It would be the name of the home usually. The unique domain is part of the web address that you send to people. There's just a range of little things in here, but this is where you add and manage the team members. So if I was the admin that was created at the time the clinic was created and then I was added, then I'd come in here and go, okay, I'm going to add all of the nursing stuff now. So here I go. I'll click on add team member. And I just start putting their email addresses in. I can add another, What do I want them to be? Team member. I don't need them to be an admin, but I could if I need another administrator. And then I would send the invitations, and they'd get those, and they just create their account because they get the email in their email inbox. And then so that's the main thing. Most of the, once it's all set up, the things that you're doing the most are adding and managing team members. So if someone leaves, you can delete them. They can't get into that clinic anymore as a staff, as a host. You can add people, or you can edit their permissions if you're going on holiday and change them to being an admin, or change them, whatever you need. So it's all really flexible in that way. And then the waiting area has lots of options, and you can have a look at these. This is all in our resource centre. But normally what I say to people is, enable confirm call entry is a good thing to have turned on, because that means that when someone joins a call, if there's multiple people, say there's multiple doctors that are going to see people and they're all in the waiting area, just it gives you, when you go to click on join with them, it just gives you a confirmation of who you're joining. You may never have more than one. Yeah,
I've enabled that
excellent.
for all our aged care homes. I think it's a very good setting, and I've done some basic configurations so that everybody can take off, and a lot of this stuff is configured the way you'll probably want it at first. But especially some homes recently across the course of the telehealth project have changed ownership and such. Their logos might have changed and everything. And so your clinic admins may be taking off with some of the tweaks from the basic settings that I have done on configuration of your clinic when it was set up.
Yeah, thanks, Kieran. That's a good thing to point out. And if you did have something like a logo, the call interface, that's what the call screen is going to look like for people. If you've got a logo and you need to change it, you can change it here, and it shows you what it's going to look like. It comes up in the corner. So the other person in the call knows, that's your logo, that's branding it a little bit. You can change the background color. I mean, most people don't. It's just this kind of gray. It's fine. Some people like dark because they go, oh, I don't like anything bright on my screen. If you're the doctor, so we bought in this mode. You just change that, and in all the calls in the clinic will have a darker background, a black background. They can't change that themselves. This is clinic-based, just so you know it's there. But most people don't touch it. Most of the time, people don't need to come in here, but you can, and you can set up all, and it can get really complicated. Like you can start sending out like different email templates depending on who the doctor is or whatever, and they can be available for your staff just when you're sending the link, or you can just use the default. So there's a range of things you can do, but most of them are optional.
Yeah, we certainly won't overwhelm with the range of configuration settings. I know a lot of that can be navigated through exploring and navigating that resource center, and in due course, we'll be able to come to terms. And Jude, I know you do the occasional webinar on Healthdirect for clinic administrators. So certainly, I think I will link at a point when I send through resources, say to Peter here, that's something that can be visited when you're ready to tackle the greater configuration settings over just making calls.
yeah, that's right. I won't go into that anymore. Video call training sessions, you can see here there's some for health service providers and some for clinic administrators. So you can sign up, and then I do those periodically, like one every each of those every sort of 3 weeks or so. But we can also do them ad hoc. If you've got a team that needs to go through it, we can set that up. You just need to let us know.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jude. Really appreciate the talk on this, the demonstration. Much obliged.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.
Not a worry. I might keep the recording going for just a little longer. Jude, you are welcome to stay or leave as your schedule demands. I might give Daniel the floor, keep him on the recording, just to really sort of iterate sort of what makes Vision and the ProEX coupling to that platform just a little bit different from Healthdirect, and kind of its sort of uniqueness and what sort of might attract people towards using that, either in the start, getting started with telehealth, or just sort of that post 30 April next year. Daniel, if you'd, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, but just sort of like a bit of summary material on just how the unique quirks of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the selling points for our perspective is that the cart and the software all essentially gets bundled into the one package, as does the training, as does the ongoing support we're constantly tweaking the software and bringing new things in, so keeping it up to date and trying to make sure it's cutting edge. So there's all sorts of new little bits and pieces coming to the software. But yeah, the big picture is, as I've touched on before, that it's a complete package in so much as with the license, with everything I said before, it's all included. So if anything happens to any of the peripheral devices, just let us know and we'll send you out a replacement straight away. As I said, there's ongoing trainings all wrapped up into that as well. So we hold everyone's hands, as Kieran knows, just to ensure some people pick it up really quickly and they're quite tech savvy. Some people don't, and we're here to cater for everybody in all their different ways. But again, as well, one good thing about our cards as well is you can use other services on it at the same time. So Healthdirect is a great product. And we've seen a lot of great successes, people using that on our card, so we're quite happy with that. But yeah, the big picture is that I think we're quite similar from what I can hear from Jude. The big picture is it's telehealth, and we want everyone to succeed, and we're here to do everything we possibly can to make sure the journey's as painless as we can help to make it. So that's about the gist of it, Kieran. When you throw me on the spot like that, I usually can blurb something out.
All right. Everybody's going to get a bit of a chance. Many have taken up with Vision as a platform for their first venture because Daniel and Abe are so accessible with their training, can book that calendar straight from the visionflex.com from their support page.
I'll actually touch on more on that respect. The carts that everyone got up in North Queensland are really great base carts. There's some great devices on there, but you can add on to them. There's so many other devices, and all the devices get wrapped up into the software as well. So all the observations can be taken and stored into that nice PDF report at the end of it. That's a bit of an important point to make on the respect of the cards. That there really is, the sky's the limit to all the devices. You could have like everything you could possibly need to have a really good examination. So I should have mentioned that.
No, definitely, I recommend to everybody to use both. I find there's some technical features with the Pro EX software that Vision is potentially better at. Healthdirect, though, very, 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 very capable and user-friendly and well-supported program as well. I expect that most homes and, more importantly, most health providers are going to end up with a preference through the next several months of, video telehealth, and you're going to take on with whichever one you will at the end and be well supported nearly whichever way you go. So the PHN is behind both and tries to remain neutral, give everybody equal sort of presentation, but definitely, yeah, in either case, we're not the technical experts. The technical experts are Jude, Daniel right here in this room, making themselves very well accessible to everybody who needs them. So yeah, I hope that everybody's feeling a little bit more informed about Healthdirect after today's session. Thank you very much, Jude. And yeah, definitely making sure I'll reinforce your support contact emails and that sort of thing through and the helpful articles first as a bit of a thing through our newsletter and everything, so that that can be approached. And yeah, as we get towards the 30th of April as well, Daniel, we may cast over to you guys to just sort of promote your platform in its current state as we get there and its various merits, and everybody can make a very informed decision about how to do telehealth. The carts are very flexible, and well, the sky is the limit, isn't it?
Very good, very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
So not quite yet, just wrapping up. Just Peter, I suppose while we're here, do you have any sort of technical support issues or anything? Daniel's on the line and everything with the equipment. I don't know if you've made any forays into making calls. I know you're personally reasonably new to it.
No, I haven't made any calls yet, but I'm getting on top of it. I'm doing a bit of research. And
I'll send you
I'm
plenty
back
of
on the
results
floor tomorrow, but we've got about 6 hours of meetings and to run the floor, so it's going to be a hectic day.
Well, Peter, if you want to send an email to support@visionflex.com and just attention Daniel, I'll send you a nice email with a couple of links and when the link to the training calendar, and yeah, when the time's right, I'll just make sure we all slot you in happily and get you having a bit of a look at it. But it's surprisingly easy to use, and just like the Healthdirect one, it's just a matter of getting in there and having a look around, and you really can't break too much stuff unless you really try. So you'll be fine. We'll make sure you get there.
It should be
Alright.
okay. I do have an IT background longer than I've been a nurse, so should be okay.
Yeah,
Should
you'll be
be,
fine.
but you never know.
Yeah.